The Touching Tornadoes. My name is Conrad. Today is November 5th, 2025, and I live with bipolar 1 disorder with psychotic features. So, this is the daily mood journal. I try to get on here and do kind of the same format every day. I started it because it's recommended for those of us with this disorder to have a mood journal. And for me, it's just easier to verbalize my thoughts and feelings rather than write them down. Um, so if you also have this illness, or maybe you know somebody that has it, maybe following along, um, I just get with Chat GPT and I try to put together a different journal for different show every day and then go through it with y'all. So, and I can't believe I said y'all. I did live in Oklahoma for a few years, so some of that rubbed off on me, and I apologize. Um, we can start with the gratitude check-in. The reason we do this is to ground ourselves and to start with a positive mindset. What are three things that you're grateful for today? Like, I'm grateful for another day of clarity, for the courage to apply for the peer support job that we'll talk about later, and for the support that I get from the community. Um, think about how gratitude changes your energy at the start of the day. When I focus on gratitude, it helps quiet the noise in my head and makes space for hope. So, over the past week or so, it's asked me to kind of list things that I'm grateful for. And I'm always grateful for my wife and kids. And, then it's been various other things throughout the week. But this time it's given us an example. It's kind of nice because it's like, I, I don't know if I would have thought. I'm grateful for another day of clarity and for the courage to apply for the job. And I'm grateful for the support I get from this community. And that is, what's up, brother? Uh, that is something I'm grateful for. Every morning I've woke up, thank God, and checked when I checked my phone, I'd have a message from somebody watching. So it's like every morning I feel like I don't want to do this again because who cares and it's boring and nobody cares and it's my thing anyways and blah blah blah, doubting myself. But I get a message from somebody that says keep going or you're doing great or thank you, whatever it is. You suck. No, I haven't got any of those yet, but they're coming. And if you've been through the kind of ups that I've been through, negative comments, the least of your fears. So, well, thanks for coming by, man. Uh, automobile brother. So, what we're doing here is starting the show with a gratitude check in. Got that. Um, I'll read it again. Just the one we come up with was I'm grateful for another day of clarity, for the courage to apply for the peer support job, which I'm going to talk about later, and for the support I get from this community. So thank you guys for being here. And thank all y'all for checking in on me, at night, I guess, when I'm sleeping because I wake up to a message. Now we're going to jump into the mood journal, the daily mood journal. Again, it was recommended by my psychiatrist um, that I do a daily mood journal to help not just track my trends of how my bipolar's doing, but it is a good way, and it has been a good way to just make me aware on a day-to-day basis that I have, this disorder. And when you have had the manic and been to the places I've been in my delusions, you know, the sometimes the further you get away from your mania, the more you want to block it off, the more you kind of naturally want to. It's a traumatic thing. The more you kind of naturally want to forget about it. But yeah, dude, I don't worry, man. I'll not worry about the negative comments. Just ignore like the tongue ignores the teeth. You got it. Um, the further you get away, the more you have a shield up to the trauma you went through in mania, and the more you kind of feel like you're okay. And so by doing this mood journal, it just it just even on your good days needs to remind you that you have this disorder, because even on your good days sometimes that's the worst day when you're going up. So it's a good check in, and that's why I do it here. um, okay, so check in with how you're actually feeling physically, emotionally, mentally. um, we're going to do, how would you describe your mood today in one word? Ooh, nervous. Nervous. That's my one word. You know, I'll explain what if it needs to. What's influencing that mood? Sleep, medication, weather, thoughts about the future, etc. Okay, so um, I definitely. It's just the day I had a psychiatry appointment this morning, which threw off the whole. What's up? It threw off kind of the whole day. You know, I had, because typically I do this in the morning, and so having the appointment, you're already nervous because you want to tell them all that you can think of, but you don't want to tell them in a way that makes them concerned, you know. So um all you're trying to do is be as normal as you can be as somebody who's abnormal, you know. So you get this kind of nervous energy, is like, cuz their whole purpose is to judge you and to, you know, check on you. And so I get nervous because I'm coming down still from my manic episode, and although I've been on a recovery journey, and I feel like I've kept myself out of falling into a depression, which is what happened the last time I went manic, um, last year, because I guess I have rapid cycling, bipolar 1, you know. I've had a couple episodes pretty close to each other within a year. And but we weren't necessarily properly medicated on this last one. And so now I feel like I got a little bit of a safety net. And so, and I've been through it, and I'd been through it pretty recently. And so it's like I feel n- more capable to knowing where my support is coming from, knowing that I have the medication as this safety net under me, and then, and it's the right one. And um, yeah, that's just what I feel like, because it's better than I was. So I guess if I'm checking in, it's the nervousness was from having to kind of talk about some tough things with my psychologist. Um, and then that gave me a little bit of a nervous energy. And then I had an interview for a peer support role at the same place. And it's something that I took the training for about a year ago. And then things just didn't work out where I wasn't really actively looking for a position to do it at that time. But now that things have changed, and you know, I feel like my purpose, if that's not too like big, my I feel like what I'm supposed to be doing is helping people with this, you know. I feel like the years of podcasting to an odd to no one to you know, to a comedy audience, you know, we had groups and times and moments where we had lots of listeners, but it was, we just trudged along as a comedy podcast for a long time, and maybe that was preparing me to get into this situation. That's the way I look at it. You know, maybe it was preparing me just to be better at having awkward conversations because what I'm meant to do is maybe I'm meant to help people that have bipolar disorder like I do, or maybe other mental disorders because I've been through some stuff. Maybe they got PTSD also. I can sit down with those people. So I applied for the job, and I think that my interview was today after my psych appointment. So the psych appointment went well, and then the interview, I felt like it went well, but I am me, so I've been replaying the whole thing through my head for the past since the interview ended, so hoping that I didn't say or step on my toes or you know give off the wrong impression. And I wanted her to know that it's something that I wanted to do, but I also wanted to be honest and upfront about everything that I've been through. So when you're going for it's weird because your whole position is to be lived experience as a peer supporter, but when you're applying for a job, like you're naturally trying to hide that part about you, maybe. I don't know. So it's weird to be open with it because that's what you're being hired for. Your experience through the disorder. So I hope that I did a good enough job of the interview, and I hope I get it. Um, but I'm also trying not to get too excited because if it's not meant to be, I don't want to be hung up on it and let it get me down. So, um, any lingering emotions or thoughts from yesterday that you want to let go of today? Yesterday was tough. If I had to rate my mood today, the nervousness ticks me, like that's what gives me that itchy feeling in my stomach. So that's kind of a weird energy thing, but yesterday I was pretty down, in comparison. So I don't know if it was good to just have some positive experiences. And really, my brother sent me a nice text message yesterday, um, out of the blue, my older brother, and it was nice. And then my mom called me and talked and, listened to what I had going on, but then also had her own bag of stuff that she's got working with. And so it's like I was feeling kind of disconnected yesterday and lonely, and low and feeling like I was sinking a little bit, really lethargic, no energy. I went on a walk. I couldn't get my energy up to run yesterday, but it ended better. And then today I had to kind of start because my appointment was early. So it kind of kicked me into gear. You know what I mean? So, but I'm the kind of motorcycle you want to just keep it in the right gear. Um, what's one thing you can do to care for your mental health today? Well, this is a big one. My mood journal, and um, it's church tonight, church dinner. So it's kind of I'm around others and around the community. So what's one thing I can do to care for my mental health today is I'll be around family and for family dinner. Doing this is what I primarily do for my mental health on a daily basis. So, let's see. There was a few segments on the job interview I did for peer support today, but I've already talked about that. It says here that, it's a chance to turn my lived experience into something that helps others. Um, that's the idea. I don't know. I don't want to get too excited about it because I don't want to get too excited. Number one, I don't want to also get my hopes up that I got this job and it doesn't come through and, put me down. So right now I'm just grateful for the interview. Um, and I hope that I come across in a way that I have a passion for helping people that need it, whoever might need it, you know? And if I can use my disorder, if I can be all I have to do is open up and be vulnerable and tell my story to help people, well, that's easy, you know? It's what maybe I'm supposed to do. I've got more help from the stories that I've listened to on other people who are going through what I'm going through, their delusions, their psychotic experiences, their manias, their depressions. I've listened to all these stories and they all help me. They're horrible stories, but they helped me when I was going through them. And it's like, I already knew that was what that's what I'm supposed to be doing. So if I can do that through this job I interviewed today, that would be great. But right now, I don't know if I got it. I'm kind of bundle of nerves, wondering because it's a big change from my. I've not had a job like that before, so it'd be another shift. But I think it's a good one. So wish me luck. Um, yeah. So we're going to end in affirmations like we have been over the past few episodes. Um, a lot of times they have to do with the episode topics themselves. So, number one, I am capable of turning my pain into purpose. I trust the timing of my recovery and growth. That's a hard one. Uh, I am proud of how far I've come, even if no one else sees it. I bring value and empathy to every space I enter. I am calm, confident, and ready for what's next. So, my favorite one is probably like, because I don't know if it's true, but I try. I bring value and empathy to every space I enter. That one is hard because you feel like you've ruined so many spaces. But it wasn't me. The times that I'm talking about are times in mania, and it's like that's the illness. So we did our gratitude check in to start the show. We did our daily mood journal, and how would I describe my mood in one word today? And nervous was like nervous was the word, a nervous energy. It's because I had a job interview today and I had to meet with my psychiatrist, so that's where it's coming from. It's not like it's uh, manifesting from nowhere, which is good. But I got to keep a check on it because I have to keep a check on it. So keep it down. And so I'll have some extra family time tonight. I already went on my run, which helped calm me down. We talked a little bit about the job interview, and we ended in affirmations. So thank you guys for watching. Um, it means a lot when you comment here, and if I don't see it here, uh, getting the comments overnight are cool. Yeah, it means comment when when Heather, thanks Heather, hi. Um, but I get them overnight. I don't know if it's Heather just changing her username and commenting, but even if it is, doesn't matter. It fools me. So um, this morning I'd read them to you, but so you'd believe me, but they're on the phone, so I won't do that. But it's just nice, and so thank you for doing that. Thanks for watching. I'm feeling better. I feel better after doing the show. Not as nervous. I'm gonna go pick my kids up from school and kind of chill and try not to just ruminate on all of the answers that I gave in my interview today. Kind of to let that go. So Be good to yourself. Have an okay day. Don't let your meat loaf. We'll see you tomorrow.